This is question number 23 on the June 2015 non-calculator paper. Okay, question number 23. This is one of the most challenging questions on this paper. Do need to think about it and take your time as you're doing it. The question says the diagram shows a container for grain. So here's the container. It has a cylinder on the top and a cone on the bottom. The container is a cylinder on top of a cone. Okay, as I just said, the cylinder has radius 3 meters, and they've told us that there, and height h meters. The cone has a base radius of 3 meters. Okay, I can mark that in a second, and a vertical height of 4 meters. The container is empty. The container is then filled with grain at a constant rate. After 5 hours, the depth of the grain is 6 meters above the vertex of the cone. After 9 hours, the container is full of grain. Work out the height h, give your answer as a fraction in its simplest form, and you must show all your working. So, as I did indicate, this is one of the most challenging questions on the paper. We need to break it up, and a lot of the formulas that we're going to use, in fact, the formula for the volume of a cone we're going to use, comes from the formula sheet. So the volume of a cone is 1/3 pi times radius squared times height, and that comes from the formula sheet at the front. So one of the first things we're going to do is let's label up the radius of the base of the cone. That's also going to be 3 meters. Okay, so the volume of the cone, is 1/3 times pi times radius squared, which is going to be 3 squared, times the height of the cone, which is 4. So 3 squared is 9. 9 times 4 is 36. 36 divided by 3 is 12. So this is going to be 12 pi. That's the volume of the cone. If we read through the question, it says, after 5 hours, the depth of the grain is 6 meters above the vertex. So 6 meters above the vertex is going to be from here. This is the vertex. 6 meters above it is 4 plus a further 2. That's how far the grain got up to after 6 hours. Okay, so I know the volume is going to be, for the cylinder, 12 pi meters cubed. Sorry, for the cone, it's going to be 12 pi meters cubed. I need to work out the volume of grain in the cylinder. Now, it's 2 meters high that it goes up to after the 6 hours. So I'm going to work out the volume in the cylinder. It's going to be area of the base, pi r squared, times the height, and the height in the cylinder, there's 2 meters of grain in the cylinder. So I'm going to times that by 2. So I'll get 3 times 3 is 9, times 2 is 18, 18 pi meters cubed. So after 6 hours, you've got 12 pi and 18 pi. That's 30 pi meters cubed of grain in this container. So let's actually use this and think about what we need to do next. So what I'm going to write down is the fact that after 5 hours, we have 30 pi meters cubed of grain in the container. They said after 9 hours, the container of grain is full. So if I break this down, after 1 hour, what volume of grain is put in? 30 pi divided by 5. That's 6 pi. So every hour, 6 pi meters cubed of grain is put into the container. So altogether, after 9 hours, that's going to be 6 pi times 9. 6 nines, 54. 54 pi meters cubed of grain goes into the container after 9 hours. So that's the volume of the whole thing. So the whole container is full up after 9 hours, and its complete volume is 54 pi. I'm going to use this to help me find the volume of the cylinder, and then use that to help me work out the volume of the height of the cylinder. So the total volume is the volume of the cone add the volume of the cylinder. Now I know the total volume is 54 pi. The volume of the cone we worked out earlier, and it was 12 pi. I need to work out the volume of the cylinder. Okay, so the volume of the cylinder is going to be 54 pi, take away 12 pi, which is going to be 42 pi. The volume of a cylinder, however, we work that out by pi times radius squared. So the radius of the cylinder is 3, and the height we don't know, it's h, and that's equal to, as we've just done, 42 pi. If I move forward a bit more, okay, 3 squared is 9, so that's 9 pi times the height is 42 pi. If I divide both sides by 9, that tells me that h is equal to 42. I'm going to divide by 9 pi, 42 pi over 9 pi. The pi's cancel out, and that leaves me 42 over 9. And if I divide both of those by 3, 3 goes into 42 14 times, 3 goes into 9 3 times. That is my answer, 14 over 3. As I indicated, this was quite a complicated question, right? You need to break it down, especially if you're aiming for top grade. You should be able to do this. Make sure you get all the marks.